Welcome to Great Convos, where we always say whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great convos. How you doing, Alex? It's been 46 days since we've been here, but who's counting?
I've not been counting. He really counted the days. Well, that's great. Hey, Roger, before we go into the core of the subject, let's look at our opening video.
Sure. Welcome back to Great Convos, where we always say whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great convos. How you doing, Alex? It's been 46 days, but who's counting?
That's right. Well, I haven't been counting. It's funny that you've been counting all that time. Wait a minute. Haven't we done this before?
We have.
Roger, it feels like Groundhog Day.
It does, isn't it? And welcome to Groundhog Day for sure. Alex, why did we come up with this particular topic today?
Well, for our season opening, we are currently February 2nd, which is in, I don't know how many countries, at least two of them that I know of, it's Groundhog Day. Mm-hmm. This is a strange tradition where we bring out a groundhog that comes out from its nest, and we look at the groundhog and we wonder, will the groundhog see its own shadow or not? And what happens, Roger, if the groundhog sees its shadow?
Well, if it sees its shadow, we are expecting 6 more weeks of winter. But if it does not see its shadow, then we are expecting an early spring. Now, according to what we know, in Philadelphia, Phil, who ironically is what the whole show was all about, and you can obviously show that clip, but Phil says that we are expecting 6 weeks of winter. But in Canada, we have Willie in Ontario and we have Fred in Quebec, and both have said, well, I don't see my shadow. So it's going to be an early spring. So depending on where you are.
Right. And I will add the following detail. Ontario is large, and Willie is in Bruce County, which is almost southern Ontario. Where I am in northern Ontario, it's very hard to believe that we might have an early spring, even if there will still be snow. It's a record snowfall this season.
Yes, it
all
is.
Across northern Ontario, and even in southern Ontario, you've had quite the snowfall records. So we shall see. I don't know how good Willie is, how good his record is, but we will see.
And no question about it. Before we even get started, Alex, I want to say welcome back to our loyal listeners. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thank you very much. I see Kathy has chimed in here, and as well as Suzanne. Thank you very much. And probably have many more. Please put it in the chat. Say hello. We want to see you again. Thank you for being here with us.
Well, it's Groundhog Day, and Roger, when we talked about this episode a few weeks ago, I said, hey, we should talk about the movie and the message that goes with the movie Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray. And I asked you, Groundhog Day, right? So good, and what a great message. And you said, I've never
seen it. I never saw it.
So, like, what, Roger? So I'm curious to know if we say the Groundhog effect, or it feels like Groundhog Day. Put it in the chat. Do you know what that means? Are you familiar with it? Coming from the 1993 movie Groundhog Day. And let's have just a little clip from that movie. This is coming from the official trailer, 1993.
He's stuck in Groundhog Day.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Bill?
Ned Ryerson?
Dang!
Do you ever have deja vu, Mrs. Lancaster?
I don't think so, but I could check with the kitchen.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Shout out to Bill Murray. Oh my gosh. Amazing job there in that movie. I did get a chance to see clips of it as well. So I felt bad that I had not seen the movie. I know I'm probably one of very few that have as well. Put it in the chat if you actually saw this movie. But it's funny, Alex, when we talk about sometimes going through the same routines over and over again. And that's why we got into this whole conversation and even asking our listeners, do you feel that it's better to have routines that you do all the time over and over again, or mixing it up? Right.
Right. And I mean, of course, we don't literally live Groundhog Day every day, but in the movie, Bill or Phil, the character, goes through the same day over and over again. And it's frustrating at first, right? And this is how we might feel. We feel like we're just going through the same things over and over again. The days go on, but we feel like we're living the same thing. And why? Maybe we're stuck in a routine. So sometimes, and you talk about this a lot, sometimes routine and consistency is a good thing, but other times we can feel like we're stuck in a rut.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was trying to see how we can navigate through this. And the reality is you could place an argument for both sides, right, Alex? Because sometimes when you have that routine, it builds that habit to do something on a regular basis, right? If somebody wants to lose weight or somebody wants to go to the gym, they want to be able to do that on a regular basis, have a routine that they go through. However, in that routine at the gym, sometimes it's also good to switch it up, get the body, give the body a bit of a shock. And we could talk about this from that perspective, or we could talk about it from other perspectives. How many times do we see people who have the same job, the same routine? They get up every morning and they go to their job and they do the exact same thing every day. But yet that person might feel, hey, I don't mind it. At least I know what I'm doing.
Right. And see, one of the big themes of the movie is that if you do the same thing consistently, you might be improving something. One of the best parts of the movie is when he watches Jeopardy, the game show, and so he sees the same show every evening. So at a certain point, he knows all the answers. So he looks really smart because he has all the answers, and then the other people watching him, and it's like, wow, how do you know all this? Oh, it's easy. Right. He gets to learn. Another part is that he goes into a restaurant and he starts talking to every single person there, like once a day, once per his day. It's always the same day. He goes into the same restaurant, talks to a different person, and he gets to know them on a deep level. And that's something interesting too. Maybe it's something that we don't do. We don't try to really get deeper relationships by really talking to someone, either someone we know or someone that we don't know yet. So there's all these things that you can do on an ongoing basis that make you a better person, that make you a more interesting person, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. But would you call that a routine, or are we talking about it from the perspective of just, doing things that are different that can better yourself? Because when I look at it from a routine, it's something that you're constantly doing. Is that the same if you're meeting different people? If you're doing, yes, I guess maybe you're right on that. It could be considered a routine that you do something every day, and it's something that you're constantly doing. So in this case, as you're saying, meeting somebody new, learning about them, that's a routine that they do every day.
Right.
Right. Routines don't necessarily have to be the same thing.
Right. Now, Phil in the movie, after getting through the frustration part, he goes. I think it's one of his neighbors who is a piano teacher, and he just knocks at the door and says, I'd like to learn how to play piano. He's never played before. And she says, I'm sorry, I've got a student right now. He says, I'll give you $500. And she's like, all right, kicks out the student, brings Phil in, and he gets his first lesson as a beginner. he goes again the next day and the following day and again. I don't know how many times he does it, but by the end of the movie, he's a piano virtuoso. It's the same thing every day. And when you're stuck in the routine, it might feel like you're not really advancing, you're not getting somewhere, you're doing the same thing over and over. I have to practice every day. But even on the final day when he uses his newfound skill to go at a concert, he still takes the time to go to the piano teacher for one last lesson. And that's what makes the difference. Consistency, routine.
I'm gonna switch it and go from a sports perspective. Look at the greats. Any of the greats who have ever played any sport, whether it's Wayne Gretzky in hockey, Michael Jordan in basketball, Steph Curry as well in basketball. How many times do they practice the same things over and over and over again on a day-to-day basis? And one would say, oh my God, you've been doing this for 500 times. You're practicing the same shot. You're practicing the same dribbles. But it does make you better at what you're doing if you consistently are doing something. And even when we're working, even as speakers, constantly honing our craft every single day and making it a routine to work on one part of your craft every day, trying to do something that's still considered a routine, even though you're doing something different all the time, but you're bettering yourself each time, right? Exactly. So some of the greats in sports, you wonder how come they're so good. Well, it's because in the background, they're doing that routine.
Yeah, the best ones are said to be the first ones at the rink or at the stadium or whatever, and the last ones to leave also. Jackie says it very well. Routine provides compound progress. Something that we hear sometimes with interest when we invest something. Compound interest is good. Interest on the interest, but progress is the same thing. You progress on top of the progress each day, whatever that is that you're working on.
Right. I look at here's even McKinley saying routines or rituals are my thing. I get frustrated with interruptions from outside sources that mess up my routines. I can attest to this. I mean, I've had some of my routines that I do. If they are interrupted in any way, it throws me off, and I almost have to play that Groundhog style and go back to the beginning and start again to get it so that I know that I'm doing it the right way, the way I want to do it. So shout out to McKinley as well. Thank you very much for that.
Roger, what are the sorts of interruptions that you get when you're working on a routine?
Oh, when I'm working out, that gym rat that comes in and has to tell you about all his day, the day that he had, the game from last night, and you're trying to get your routine done in the gym. Sometimes I just put my earpieces in and I hope that they won't continue to sit there and talk to me until after I finish my workout. There's one that I've seen happen a lot of times when I am doing that. When it comes to even when I'm practicing my speeches or the routines that I have when I'm leading or going to an event. If they're broken, it feels like I'm not doing the right thing. And then all of a sudden it plays in your mind, so to speak, right?
Yeah, so you're really a creature of habit, a little bit like McKinley, right? Roger, let's go back to the idea of feeling stuck. Because even if we can agree that, yes, consistency is key, we get compound progress, sometimes it really feels like we're not advancing because we're doing the same thing over and over again. Like the life is on repeat. Do you have any ideas that we can do to get out of that feeling?
Repeat it again, Alex. I didn't catch the last part there.
Well, if I feel like I'm stuck on repeat, well, let me say it personally, Roger.
Okay.
We are now February 2nd. And I told you a little earlier that now I'm starting to get ready for the new year. I'm almost ready to start January. We came back from the break, and now I've got all these things that are ongoing. I need to catch up on things, but there's still the everyday things that need to be done. So I'm stuck in the everyday routine, but trying to catch up. So it's hard to really get going if I feel like every day is the same. How can I get out of that feeling? of being
I
on
mean,
repeat.
the only thing that I can think of is maybe even if you still want to have some form of routine, Alex, sometimes it's even good. Look, a walk out in the park, taking a walk, or just changing it just a little bit so that you can refocus on what it is that you want to do. Go
Mm.
for a walk, go for a drive, right? Me, anybody who knows me, the gym is where I take that moment to readjust and reset my day. I have to go there and do that in that portion so that if my mind isn't right, if I can't get my things correct in the middle of the day, doing that kind of resets my whole frame of mind.
Right, a reset, a reshuffle, changing something in the day,
Mhm.
right? So something very different, eh? So if we feel like we're doing the same thing over and over again every day, we don't need a long. I guess what you're saying is we don't need to do something very complicated, nor that takes a lot of time. Just do something that interrupts that routine, that rut, and just
Right.
freshen up your ideas.
Yeah. Right. Do you have things in your routine that sometimes you feel like that same thing you're saying, where you get to a point where it's almost mindless, and what can I do to inject something exciting to make it a better routine?
Well, yeah, so we'll try that today. Hey, why not today? It's made, perhaps you're talking about going outside, perhaps because of the intense winter, I'm not going outside as I could, and maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I just go out when we're done here. I'm gonna take a walk outside, get the fresh air,
Mhm.
realize that we have only 6 more weeks to go of this winter. I'll come back and I'll let you know how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'd like to. You know what I want to say to the listeners here. Thank you for commenting and being a part of the conversation. A lot of things have been said here. Obviously, we have a comment here that consistency is key, and it does help if you have certain routines. Now, there are people. Let's keep it real. There are people that seem to have been successful. I can't put a name to someone, but there are probably people who are successful by changing things up and not having just a stringent routine all the time. And do we say that theirs doesn't work? Do we say that it's worse or wrong? I don't think we can. If
Mm.
in their mind they found success doing it that way, right?
Well, let's go back to the movie Groundhog Day, because Phil deals with the constant repetition in two different ways. One
Hmm.
where he's frustrated, he realizes he's stuck in there, he doesn't know what to do, and
Hmm.
he I'm not giving up anything because it is in the trailer. He attempts to end his life, and it doesn't work because he still
Yeah.
wakes up at 6 a.m. the following day.
Yeah.
He tries to jump out of a building. He crashes his car. He with the groundhog in the car. This is all part of the
Hmm.
trailer. He goes in front of a bus. He tries everything, and it never works. And then he
Right.
just realizes something else has to be done. So this is, common theme among all of us, especially in movies where you hit bottom before you try something new. So
Hmm.
he goes from being really frustrated to trying something new, as you're saying. And it's
Mm.
only when he tries to make it the perfect day that things start being better around him and for him. Well, and not only for him, but for everybody around him.
Can we use that saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change?
Yes.
Can that be used here?
Yeah, you are quoting who?
Dwyer.
Dw-
Forgot his first name.
Dr. Dwayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer. Yeah, that's it. Dyer. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start to change the way you look at things, the things around you change. You said it better.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So even though he is stuck in the same day, I guess he changes his routine to make his life better, and
Hmm.
his outlook completely changes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's a great conversation to have, Alex. I mean, everybody will see their routines differently, whether they are doing the same thing consistently, exactly the same. Maybe even someone who cooks their meals, prepares their meals the same way every day, right? And or they wear their clothes a certain outfit each day of the week. Look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods makes sure that he wears red every Sunday when he's competing, right? Everybody has their version, their quirks as how it goes, but which one's the right one? I don't think anything is wrong with any of them.
Yeah, I suppose what I'm hearing also throughout this conversation is, yes, we may feel like everything, like we're on repeat, but there are some things that are worth repeating.
Oh yes,
Roger, probably
yes.
some things, surely there are some things that we do every day consistently that we should stop doing.
True.
It's self-evident, right? So maybe we can look at what we do every day in our routines and eliminate what is not necessary or hurtful, and add things that can be helpful for us. Eliminate the hurtful, add the helpful.
Helpful. Hey, let's put that as it. Eliminate the hurtful, add the helpful. There
And
you
that's
go.
all the time we've got now.
And that's that. That is a perfect way to end this segment. I did want to say one thing really fast. That's cool. Wears black turtleneck. Okay, daily.
Yeah. This
I like that.
Steve
I
Jobs
like that.
famously wore the same thing every day just to avoid one decision every day.
I wanted to shout out to somebody who is joining us for the first time. This is Dr. Sunjata Ives. I worked with her on her speech. She competed recently at Speaker Slam. That's a huge competition. I'm sure you've heard of it, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
She competed at Speaker Slam recently and placed second at the competition. And she is off to the Grand Slam, which happens in November. So just wanted to say hello to Sunjata for joining us. These are the two great coaches right here. We're awesome, both of us. But I appreciate having the opportunity to work with her. She did an amazing job. So just wanted to give a shout out
Congratulations,
to her.
Sujata. Best of luck to you. Or have fun. Enjoy the Grand Slam. Roger,
Yes.
before
routine.
we go,
She's gonna have to go through a routine.
That's
She
right.
will have to go. She'll have to go through a routine.
Roger, before we go, you've seen
Mm-hmm.
you've seen clips of the movie, but not the whole movie from beginning to end. After this conversation, after we've discussed this, do you want to watch the movie from beginning to end? Have a better appreciation for it?
Yes, I will. I promise you that. I am going to watch the movie. I'm going to watch it and make sure that I actually really grasp the idea of Groundhog Day and why we have this.
And thinking of it, Roger, this might be an interesting way of getting more episodes. This season of season 7, we really want to have a season that makes us think, makes you think, thought-provoking ideas that can change lives. That's what we're saying for season 7. And just looking at a classic movie from 1993, I realized there's so much to learn from this movie. When I first watched it, I was a kid. I was just thinking, oh, this is funny, and the groundhog is there, and he lives the same thing every day, and sometimes you get frustrated. But getting older, I realized there's so much more to this. Just like any great literature or works of art or movies. So there's much to be said, much to be discovered, discussing culture.
No doubt about it. And McKinley, I will be tested next week. I'll let Alex test me to watch the movie. Well, everyone, thank you very much for joining us on the grand opening of season 7. Season 7. I can't believe we're actually saying that. Season 7. We've been around. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for always being here, supporting us. And you know what, Alex? Should we? Well, I'm going to go outside too. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a break and break the routine and start it all over again.
Do something different today, and maybe it'll be a new habit that changes your life for the better.
There we go. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
See you later.